we've sorted the problem out on the wheel now, so it should be much better. A lot better than what it was yesterday. Gotta just quickly do something on my channel. Just put this on it quickly. Now I know how to do this a bit easier. So we fixed the problem with our wheel. It was set up within the control panel wrong. So now I've fixed it. I've tested the BMW out, everything, and I'm quite a bit faster than what I was before. So it's pretty much the same as PC now in terms of lap time. It actually felt a bit faster, to be honest, in the Z4 than on the PS4. I'm wondering if it's the tyre model's been slightly changed again. That's done. Just put Assetto Corsa in on this. Porsche volume 3 and start testing it out properly this time, and it should be quite a bit different when I start driving in a minute to what it was yesterday. The rotation should be miles better. We'll have a little just put Assetto Corsa in on that one. Here it is. Let's save that. Let me just go back to my channel. Okay, so let's just turn that down. Right, let's start this properly now. This should work much better now. Okay, so I've got that sorted. We'll go straight into something. We'll test out Zandvoort. We'll do a different track to it. Do you know what, actually, I'll test it out on, we'll go back to Mugello purely because I want to see the difference now from yesterday, how bad it was compared to now. It should be quite a big difference. So we'll take this round there. I'll have a good few laps with this. It should be a lot more enjoyable now. Everything's on there, right? Is it damaged? Mechanicals on 24 degrees. Fuel's on. Penalties on, right? And let's hope it is better. I've got it now. Basically, my rotation is now set to the same as how I have Project Cars, and on the PS4 it feels identical. It might even feel a bit better than on PS4 now, to be honest. So I didn't save a setup, which is good because I'm not really bothered. I'm just gonna try. Let's just change one thing very quickly because I doubt I want to see what it's like with no. So we'll just take that down to 10, and then we'll take the traction off and see what it's like. I'm not going to change anything really. Let's change that view. Right, let's get rid of all that. Let's see if there's much of a difference this time. Let's change the traction control to just try a weakest setting first. It instantly feels better than yesterday. Feels a lot more secure to the ground. Feels a lot more like the RUF on Project Cars now that I've got the wheels sorted. To link it again, haven't I? Need to link this to Twitter. I'll do that in a minute. Let's have a few laps with this and then we'll make some changes to the setup just to make it a little bit easier. So let's take that traction off, I think. See how much easier it is to drive compared to yesterday now. I'm not getting that oversteer, that like instant twitch oversteer. Oh, as I say, that hit the curb. Right, you gotta be careful on the curbs with this by the looks of it. While I'm in the pits, let me link this now on my Twitter. Let's just send the link out. That was a bit of a Murray Walker moment there. As I say, it doesn't oversteer and I hit the curb and spin. Let's link this on Twitter. Probably could have took that traction off as well when I haven't really got the best setup to take the traction off yet. It's default. Let's just tweak that out. Let's have a little look at what we can. Brakes felt fine, right? So tyres are right. We want softs on for a start for this. We don't want mediums on. Gears. What's the maximum speed of that? 178. We don't need that type of speed on here. Bring it down to 172. I think that should be close to the limiter on 172. We'll just try that. I don't want to change too much really now. I just want to drive the car. Alright, it was already off. I didn't know if it resets when you go in the pits. Alright, these soft tyres are giving a bit more grip now anyway. This actually feels much better, so much better than yesterday now. Got more confidence in the car. Such a tricky bend this. Just a little bit too hard there. I haven't driven on this track for quite a while, so it'll take me a bit used to this. Well, when the game first came out on the PC, still gets it on the curbs there, doesn't it? When the game first came out on the PC, this was probably my go-to track. I haven't been on it in ages. It doesn't like the curbs, that's one thing about this car. I'm wondering if the setup might be a little bit too low as default or something. It really doesn't like the curbs, hates them. Still got a very dodgy back end. Let's change the brakes. This, I think it might be the brakes. I'm guessing they're, I can't remember, but it feels like they're around 60 or something rather than 64, 65 or something. It seems to be kicking the back end out on braking. Which is it on? 68. It's quite high. We'll put it to maximum on the brake bias and see if that helps. Differential might help as well. Add a bit of braking differential. Let's have a little look at the suspension and just see what. It's only running one on the rear. It's quite a big difference. That. Let's just see what it's gonna. Active to driver and that's giving it better traction actually. Let's just lower that down to 5 rather than 6. Where's the ride height? We'll have a little. Right, let's try going lower on the. It's got quite a weird rake on that, considering it's getting strange. That go down to 15. I would think raising it would have helped, but it's already quite high on the front. We'll go down on the rear, but not as much. Really want to change too much there for now. I'm just messing with it quickly. Bump stop's already up a bit. Let's just take a bit off of that. What's the alignment like? Right, so this. Let's just go down a bit on. Really want that. I might make it a bit more grip on the rear. We'll go a bit more grip. Let's up this quite a bit. So we'll go to 15 there. That should give a bit more grip on the rear now. And aero. I'm gonna take that off the front. Let's just put that on 50-15 and see how it drives now. Run the voice traction control for now. Whilst it's quite a big difference from the other GT3 cars. I swear that just missed. It actually missed a gear shift or something there. It's strange. It's got a very similar handling to Project Cars, but it seems to have just got a point where it will just bite and kick out. It's going to probably take quite a good setup to be able to push this to like the limits. Really could do with the tyre temperatures on, just to see how the tyres are heating up. Let's just, where's the tyre temperatures on here? Let's just get the tyres up. There you go. Just so I can see how the tyres are doing for temperature. To move the steering wheel as well. It's slid down again on this play seat. It's a bit annoying, but it keeps doing it. Right. Just gotta be careful on these curbs. Every time I get near a curb, I'm scared it's gonna spin. Won't go into second gear there. That's what might need to do some work on the gears. It might be something to do with the gears as well. When I'm going down into a gear, it might be too high on the revs for it. That rear left tyre's overheating there just from them corners. Oh, it doesn't like. I think the tyre pressures are too low. They were on like 16 or something. I think they were quite low. That. Probably going to overheat very easy being that one. 100 and brake. I think it's too much front brake bias now. I just didn't want to turn in on the braking, but had to hold the power there. I'm not really going to start pushing this car because it needs a lot of setup work, I think. Just make a few basic alterations just to get it a bit more drivable and get a feel for the car. When you get them corners perfect, like that wasn't perfect, but when you do them corners perfect, it feels really good on this game. That back end, look at that. It just goes, it just really doesn't like it. Any sort of, I don't know what's causing that, it's really weird. I don't know if the car's locking up on the rear or something. Could even be the tyres. Going to take a while to this car. I think this is going to be quite a hard car to get set up to be able to push to the maximum. But I think them tyre pressures are wrong, because look how low they are. Surely that's just going to cause massive tyre heat. We'll go up to 22, a little bit lower than what we would normally, but obviously I think what they've done is they've put the default setup for the medium tyres, which will, they create less heat, don't they? So when you put the softs on, they're just going to overheat on that. We don't need that amount of ABS on either. I don't know whether that's higher or lower actually, but I like it around 2 to 4 really. If the car's got ABS, you might as well use it. Let's just run minimum front, maximum rear, and then we'll put that back down to just a little bit different there. I'm just running the shouldn't really make much difference. There's a problem with me. Once I start driving a car, I just can't leave it. I have to keep tuning it. I'm only supposed to be previewing the cars here, but I'll end up probably doing a full setup for it the way I'm going. It's got a lot of understeer off the throttle that now. I'm wondering if the just give it a little bit of time to warm the tyres up a little bit and see how it drives. Quite a technical track this. You've got to be off the throttle quite a lot. So far it feels better to drive, but it's these corners up here that seems to be catching the car out. Because we're braking and going down the hill, it's just kicking the back end down. I like to take a really tight line with my cars. This car doesn't really like the tight lines too much. Definitely feels a bit better now with raising tyre pressure, so even though that rear left is still overheating already. A little bit weird that. I don't think it should be overheating off that. I'm not even pushing the car. Let's just try running 10. Just give a bit more stability while we're just testing this car out. Where I'm driving, nearly drove off the track. Really tricky corner this one. If you get the power down on that curve, it will just spin you out. Missed the apex a bit there, but better than what it did before, so then we may just need to keep raising the tyre pressures up until it's in a range where it's not overheating that rear left. I know that this car in general does overheat the rear tyres. It does it on project cars, it does it on, it's a known thing with the car, obviously with the rear engine and the rear wheel drive. Too hard. I just want to nice banker lapping, nothing too fast, just seeing what the car will do. It's a 50 flat, so it's like 3 seconds, well, yeah, about 3 seconds off what it used to be before when the PS4 was on a don't really know on this latest time, although I'm guessing it'll be a 148 you'll need, which I think this car will be able to get. Considering we're driving around with 30, I think it's 30 litres of fuel as well at the moment. We've not took any fuel out, we're just leaving default the fuel. So it feels much. So one thing you want to do is definitely raise the tyre pressures on this car. Oh, I mean they've done it because they've default setup has got the medium tyres on, so you want to run lower pressures with them. But if you're putting the softs on, you're going to have to raise the tyre pressures. Feels miles better now. Even when I take the curb like there, didn't spin it out, whereas before that would have been in the gravel. It's a nice car to drive though. Feels reasonably nice. We're a little bit behind on this lap I think, because I've not really been pushing up and talking a bit, so. Well, it's pretty much the same lap again, to a 10th. At least we know we got consistency, right? Let's go down second and then get on the power a bit earlier. Chuck it in a bit earlier this time. Got a horrible bit of understeer as I went to put the power on. Attack them curves now. So I think a lot of it was it, and that rear left is overheating already. So I think maybe that the problem with raising the rear left pressures is just going to unbalance the car a bit. Pretty much the same lap again. Exactly the same lap again. Oh, tried to get a little bit braver with the throttle, nearly lost it there. Get used to how to take that bend again. It took about miles by that time. Remember, you got to really throw it into that corner. A little lift there and then hard on the power, but went too early on the power. Could have took a lot more speed through that corner. The brake a lot later there as well. Left is really overheating here now. Pushing a little bit harder, it's starting to to build a lot of temperature up. Let's just see, they pushed a little bit harder, but still not pushing maximum. Plus the setup's nowhere near good enough yet. We've got it into the 49s, so that'll should easily be able to get maybe a 47 with this car around there, I think. Okay, so let's just go back into the pits. Let's just make sure. Am I even alright? Hello, I haven't even looked at the comments yet. I've just been driving, but let's go back into the pits. So that feels good, but the only thing the issue I'd have with that, the way it's heating up that rear left tyre, it seems to be, it must really, it's that long right hand that's doing it. It's killing that left hand, the rear left tyre with that tricky right hander that just seems to never end. It seems to be killing that rear left. But if you start raising the pressure too much on that rear left, it'll unbalance the car quite a bit. Maybe you could probably go up to, I'm guessing you'd be able to go up to 26 and it still handles very similar, and it might just control them temperatures a bit more, especially when we're going to be wanting to push the car a lot harder. What I'll do is I'll just save that anyway. So let me just go into, what am I doing? Right, let's just have a little save of that. Just put base, even though there is no setup there, just at least I've got a start point when I go to setting this car up. And I'll have a little look at the replay of the car while it's can I even do that now? Don't know whether I can do that, can I? Just have a little look. Right, let's have a little look at that replay when it was so we want to go have a little look at these last 2 laps, see what the sound's like on the car. So if we hit a 49, it'll easily, I think with a good setup, getting the tyres into a better range, we should be able to keep it, especially when we start taking the traction control off a bit and getting it where we want it to. We should be able to maybe hit a 47 with this car around there. I think maybe 47s seems about the speed I think would be a drive. I mean, if you were hot lapping it, you might be able to go faster, but in terms of race pace, 47s, late 47s will be the speed. Just takes a while to get used to different cars. It's a nice car to drive, and it sounds quite good on the replays as well. Finding like it's very similar to project cars, and that you keep having to just lift off the throttle because of when you go through a corner you seem to get a lot of understeer mid corner. Something we'll have to try and look at with the setup to get rid of. I know on project cars I got the RUF I had pretty much perfect. I used it for the Apex Online Elite League, Elite Tier, and I won the season with the RUF. So I know that car, it's a car that suits me, so I'm looking forward to getting this car up to speed. Obviously this is going to be a bit different to that car because it's a later model, but it'll have the basics of that type of car, similar type of handle. It feels very similar anyway when driving it then. Just a bit more advanced on the physics on Assetto Corsa. I don't know whether they're going to announce it soon, but I'll just keep an eye on their Twitter because they're going to announce some information very soon. So I do know some details, but I'm not allowed to say anything anyway, so I can't say anything. But it's nothing that important what I know anyway. It's not really worth talking about. But I'm sure they're going to announce something on Twitter very soon with regards to the release date. My guess is it's going to be around either just after Christmas they're going to announce it, or the new year. So just keep an eye on Twitter because I think they're going to announce obviously the planned release date. My guess would be I haven't heard a release date or anything, but my guess would be around the similar time to when the first one came out, which was it July? I can't remember. Was it May or July, something like that? I know it kept getting delayed, didn't it? And I think it ended up coming out in May, but I think it might be a bit later for the Project Cars 2, probably possibly July would be my guess, maybe August, but it might even be the end of the year, I don't know. I don't really know in terms of that. Let's have a little go with a different car now. See what we can so you can see, yeah, from yesterday, from the lap we did yesterday, it's nearly 3 seconds faster. Change more settings. That yesterday was awful. I mean, that car anyway is twitchy enough, even with like the 180-degree rotation set on my wheel. Yesterday we were driving with 400 degrees rotation, which was just undrivable. That's why I kept saying it was just really weird to drive yesterday's stream. I think it ended up failing as well. That stream yesterday, I was there carrying on talking for about 20 minutes. Let's continue there. So you can see them laps there. They're consistent. At least we know we got consistency. A 0.540, a 0.626, and a 0.643. All them laps within a tenth. And then I did try and push a little bit harder on that lap, although it was still far from perfect. So we should be able to, once we've got a good setup with the car, running obviously low fuel as well, because we had 30 litres of fuel in them. When we got 5 litres of fuel, because you can get an out lap and a flying lap with 5 litres on track, well, you can with most cars. We should be able to hit at least a low 38, a 48, I'd think. Just need to get it consistent. It's just a little bit risky on the limit, that car. It doesn't feel like the 650S. You just feel like you can just go for it every corner, especially with the setup that I've done for it on the PS4. And I haven't got that car on the PC yet. Hopefully, if Steam have got a few sales over Christmas, I'm gonna just try and get as much DLC for this PC version, because now that I've got the rotation sorted, I'll be playing this a lot more, because when I first went on it and my rotation must have been like that since I've been playing it, and I was always wondering why I was getting loads of understeer, because the steering wheel was obviously turning too much, so it was just forcing the car to understeer, because I was basically turning stupid amounts at stupid speeds. But I didn't know that, because obviously I don't have the steering wheel on when I'm racing. But good job I tested it yesterday. Let's have a little look at so while we've just driven that, I'll have a little look at the, let's test the other. It's the Cup one, isn't it? It's going to be a bit slower and probably a bit harder to drive, but we'll take it to, where can I take this? I really want the Red Bull tread as well. I need to get the Ferrari pack soon. I might go Vale longer with this, because it's track I know. I don't want to go that. Could go Zandvoort, but that's going to be a tricky track. We'll go Zandvoort. It's going to be a very hard track, and I'll probably go off quite a lot on this track, because I've not been on this track in a while as well. Let's have a little take this one here. It's going to be very similar to the car we've just driven, I think, anyway. So we'll just see what it's like. Right, you mean the last update on the game, or the last update on Twitter? They've put out a few things in the last couple of days, just saying stay tuned. It's coming very soon, an announcement. My guess is they've got Porsche. Well, I'm pretty sure it was confirmed they got Porsche ages ago when something was seen with Porsche. So I'm sure they've got Porsche in there, and my guess is they'll have Ferrari now as well, as they put it on. I remember that survey I did ages ago on the game, and it was there as a thing if you'd like to see the manufacturers in, and Porsche, Lamborghini and all them are on there. So I'm guessing they're going to try and get some of the major manufacturers. I'm hoping they've got like pretty much every GT3 car, because GT3's on that game is like the main car. It's pretty much the same on this as well. If they could get a license for a GT3, that'd be amazing, or even GTE or something. Let's have a little look at this car now anyway. So this car we can't change, because it's a Cup. We have to run the hard tyres So we're gonna want to run. We're gonna want to run as low as possible with these tyres. We'll leave 30 on fuel because I'm not really bothered about that anymore. Can't change the gears because it's the Cup Series where everyone's pretty much driving the same car. We can't change the differential. We can't change the traction control because I'm pretty sure it's set to off with this car. I don't think you're allowed to change it. You can change the ABS a bit there. Aero, we can only do the rear, we can't do the front. On this track I think we'll go a bit higher. We'll go maximum on this track, especially when I don't really know the track. Oh, I know the track, I've just not driven it for a while. Alignment now, what I'll do here is, I know for a fact I'm going to want more front camber on. How much of a, no, it's really high rear cam. Let's just go down a bit on that. We want to keep it a little bit high just to stop that understeer. And I know for a fact I'm going to want the rear toe higher, especially with running hard tyres on. This car's going to be a bit tricky, I think. We'll leave that. The brake bias on 60. Right, let's go to 65 just to try and 64 actually, because it's got the hard tyres and it's going to understeer anyway. Ride high. This track's a bumpy track, so we won't go. Just go down 2 clicks on that and 2 clicks on that for now, just keeping the balance default but lowering a bit just for now, and we'll just test this out now, see how it drives. So we can't change the traction control, it's just set on default. Let's get rid of all that info on the right. It's going to be a fair bit slower than the other one because you're forced to have harder tyres. But not been on this track in quite a while either. It's a track I really like, but once you get in a rhythm on this track, you feel like you're driving so fast because it's such a tight, twisty track. So bumpy this track. Brakes a bit too hard there, but not pushing anywhere near hard enough there. Not too worried, I just want to test the car out before I start putting any sort of speed into it. Actually feels quite nice to drive this. I might try doing a setup for the other Porsche, the GT3 variation, with the medium tyres. It might actually run better. It might suit the medium tyres better because I know the Corvette was a bit like that on the PS4. Whether it's like that on this or not, I don't know. Oh, we braked late there. Just carry on. It's the only thing obviously with running these harder tyres, and braking distances aren't as good as with the soft tyres. So on the next lap I won't push too hard, I'll just try and get a banker in instead of just trying to take it flat out. Let's just test why we've made a mistake, test someone's corners out. In terms of what we can do. It's really awkward the gearing through there on this car. You can't change it either, which is a bit of a pain, but we braked a little bit too late again, so we need to brake nice and early for that corner. A wide line and then try and cut it back a bit. Too wide there. As a brake seems about right, the 100 board still. almost take that flat out if I remember. Let's just try and get back on the brake. Braked very early there. I really like this track though. The reason I really like these, or I pushed them into it, like project cars and Assetto Corsa, they got some tracks that you wouldn't expect in them. One thing I really like about the games. I still need to download some mods for this game. I think I'm going to start having a look at some of the other tracks, because I've seen the Paul Ricard track someone had. One of my teammates for the esports team had the Paul Ricard track. It looked really good. Tight on that entry. Get the power on them. Try not to run as wide as we did before. Flat through there. Not the worst lap, but not the best. Not too bad considering we've got hard tyres on as well. We're not pushing at all. We got default setup pretty much, and we're running hard tyres obviously. Let's just keep the traction. Oh, this actually feels nicer to drive than the GT3. I think because obviously you got a lot more default settings, it feels really nice. Oh, we're pushing a little bit too hard there. It's such a hard corner to get right now. Oh, we nearly lost it then. I'll brake too late. Knew I'd done that. You can actually get away with pushing a little hard there, a little bit too hard there anyway, if you make a mistake on the braking. Such a wide corner, you've got loads of room to play with. See how the tyres are staying in a much better range now with the hard tyres. So you definitely want to lower them pressures with this down. I mean, it starts on 16, but just put them down to 15. You're going to need to, just gives you a bit more grip on that rear. Start being a bit braver through there, taking the wrong line as well. That was a horrible line as well through there. Let's brake a bit closer to the 100. Let's try and push a little bit harder on this lap, but not too hard that we make. Should be able to go flat out through these corners, no lifting at all. Just get it over to the right hand side there, and watch that one. Get on the power early, that's not too bad. Missed the apex, but we're going to run a little bit wider. Ah, that was a pain. We were on alright lap then as well. Just wants to run wide all the time there, trying to feed the power in. Wait for the grip and then the power. This game just seems to get better every time I play it. I get in little zones where I just I could literally just drive around in these cars all day. The driving feel in this game is just, I don't think anything can match it. Brake too late. Push the braking a little bit too far there, but just about kept it on the track. I think I might use this car as a doing a little custom championship at some stage, racing against Alien AI. We've gone too far in there. Tried to push that braking a little bit too far. Another really nice car to drive though, that. I should be able to get that. I'm tempted to try and go into a mid 41, maybe a 40 with this car, even with default. I think it should be able to get close. Let's just get these tyres back up to temperature. Have another go. That rear right hand side starting to lose a bit of temperature. That's the only thing with this hard tyres. We're going to have to try and make a setup that's going to build temperature in the rear right now compared to the other car where we want to lose it. Oh, I've gone on a bit of a risky line there. Let's see what's up. Let's push a little bit harder. There's a chance we might make some mistakes. Could have braked later there. Don't mind that wide line because it means you can get on the power a little bit earlier. A bit hesitant on the power then, but let's try and get in on that apex. We missed it a bit again, but it just wants to run wide. Oh, just tried to nail, like just put the power down and nearly lost traction then. Such a good car to try and push hard this. This would be an absolutely perfect car for a league, to do league racing with. Let's see, yeah, we've got 41.6, so pretty much the lap I was looking for, and with mistakes as well, so this should get under the 40 mark as well. Maybe a 39.5 or something with a good setup and low fuel. Really nice car to drive, that. Let's just go and have a little watch of the replay, see what it's like. Yeah, the mods are only available on PC. You'll never get them on PS4 purely because Sony and Microsoft, etc. You won't get them on consoles. They'll always be just stuck to the PC. It's annoying, but it's something that although you get like Fallout mods, it's a bit different with like Assetto Corsa and that. I don't think you'll ever get the mods on consoles. Maybe in the future when like the next PlayStation's out, and if they just change the, I don't know, they need to change the way they do things. It would be good if you could, but I think it's due to the possibility of basically unauthorized content, like could be bugs in it and stuff, like because the Assetto Corsa don't test the mods out. I don't think. I think it's just someone puts them on there. If they're broke, they're broke. So I don't think Sony would want that on their console. Let's have a little look at the replay. See, just watch that last lap, because that wasn't a brilliant lap, but it. Right, I'm taking it. That was probably the last lap, wasn't it? What am I doing? Okay, I don't know what's going on. What am I doing? I'm doing the wrong bit, aren't I? What an idiot. So we need to go this one, don't we? Let's just check that. That'll be where. I like the way it does this. Don't think it does this on PS4 with the replays. It doesn't tell you where your lap points are with the green markers, which is really annoying on the PS4 because you have to just go through it searching for the laps. At least it just does it on this. Have a little look at the lap from where we started building up the temperatures again. I don't know what's going on here. That's annoying, isn't it? Need to move that so it doesn't get in the way of that. Right. Stop moving. You know what? Let's just. Need to find somewhere I can put that where it's not going to get in the way. Don't want it in the middle though. Why is this not playing? I'm confused. Right, there you go. It won't go back past there. Right there. Right, it should be. Let's move that out of the way. That was a really enjoyable car again to drive. Felt different to the GT3, which is good because although they look like similar cars, they drive very different. Really wide. Few errors on that lap, probably lost us well over at least a second there, so we should be able to get to a 49 at worst, I would say. Right, let's come out of this and we'll just. We did some changes on the setup there, so we'll just save that as a base setup anyway. Even though again it wasn't really anything in depth, it was just some what I thought would work, and it seems to have worked anyway. It felt alright to drive, so peace on that. Let's see. Alright, so let's come out of that. Right, I'm just gonna go to the toilet and then have a look at a different car again. Right, so we'll have a little go with the road car now, which will take a bit of getting used to, because going from a car with grip to a car basically no grip, and we'll make sure we do it on a bit of an easier track. I'll probably take it to Vale longer. It's that one, isn't it? I think it's that car. We'll go to Vale longer, so where's... It's on this page, isn't it? There. A little go around Vale longer with it. Start that. Okay. So you're not really going to be able to change much over this setup anyway. It's going to be very basic changes we can do to this car. It's not going to be much at all. Oh, right. So let's just see what we can do. Can't touch gears, tyres, gonna have semi-slicks on anyway, tyre pressures. Probably go a bit down, because let's try down a bit, get a bit more grip out of it. I'm not worried about fuel for now. Traction, just keep it on the lowest to start with, and you can either have it on or off on the ABS. We'll leave it on, obviously, if it's got it as a option. It's got a big camber difference there on the rear. That's obviously because it's a road car. It's basically set up to create more understeer than oversteer. So we'll add a bit of front to that. Not too much though. We don't want it to be undrivable. Just have a bit more front. I'm going to take a bit of toe off, and we'll add a bit of just one click of rear toe to put it to a neutral position. That's all we can really do. I mean, you're going to, obviously, if you're setting it up properly, you're going to make a lot more changes, but I'm just doing very quick changes just to get it a bit more drivable, just for when I'm testing it out, see what it's like. I'm a little bit worried about this because the road car, I could be going off quite a lot. I always take a bit to get used to the braking points when I'm going with a road car, because obviously when you're going out of a road car, the brakes are weaker, the grip's less, and when you've just been in a fast car, it takes a bit of getting used to, so you might want to bear with me for a bit. Let's see, we're braking really early anyway with no speed, and we're still running wide. We'll leave that traction control on 2 for now. I'm trying to move this while I'm driving. Back over, I want it over there. Why can't I move it? Why won't it let me move that? There you go. That's where we want. Let's leave that there, so let's see the gears a little bit easier and the speed. Let's just move that. With traction control on the weakest setting, it's got a lot of understeer, like a 40 would, obviously with the cambers so rear based. Let's just take that traction off because it's just understeering horribly. I want a little bit of, I want it to turn in a bit better. Feels so slow and laboured when you come to a road car to drive in a race car. It's a good job I didn't drive the LMP1 car and then try this. Would have felt like a snail. This corner's not going to be very good in this car, so I'm thinking I'm going to have to do a downshift and chuck it in. Doesn't like that corner at all. It really doesn't like that corner. See the understeer. I've gone in too far with that. Just got no turning on the front end. Let's just go in the pits and Try and just get it a little bit better, because it's just got no turning on the front end. It needs more front camber. We'll go to 8 on that. What's it on 2.1 on the back? Let's try going to minus this. Just go with that just to cover the rear in case the rear comes a bit lively. We'll go down on the rear to 2. What can we change? Anything else on the? You can't even change dampers or nothing. It's pretty much a limited, very limited in terms of setup. This car. We need to change any of that. You can't change. Let's just see how it handles. So it's basically just going to be a camber, changing the camber on this car to get any sort of speed out of it. Obviously, you can change the what else? Tow angles as well. It can be quite important, the tow angles with a road car anyway. No, that's how you get the Ferrari FXXK a lot more drivable. See now, instantly you can feel the extra turning we're getting from the tow change and the camber change. Might be a little bit more lively at the rear also. Instantly feels better, but it'd need a lot more work, but we'll just work with what we've got for now. Braking nice and early for this corner because it's quite a tricky corner. Tail out. Doesn't like this corner, this car. Tried to bring the back end out a bit of power and it just didn't want to play. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Especially in this car through that corner. Brakes as weak as they are on this. So let's just try and stay wide and get a bit of speed down the straight. Don't know how fast we're going to be able to take this corner, so we're going to take it very cautious now. Not going to push it at all. Just keep it on the track. Need to brake quite a bit before that white board as well, because we're going to take more speed now. Third gear, stop that rear spinning a bit. We definitely have got traction off, haven't we? Yeah. Traction was off and it still felt like it was on. Try and keep a tight line, don't let it run wide. A little bit of a drift. Understeering. Managed to get a bit of oversteer into it then just to help through that corner. Oh, just about held onto the track. Not a particularly great lap. Try and get on the power a little bit better. Let's just try and keep a tight line again. And try and stop that oversteer a bit better. Yeah, that's a bit better than before. Let's just feed the power in. A little bit of a lift on the throttle just to steady the rear a bit. Ah, it's just so much understeer. Oh, I don't know what was going on with the car then. It just didn't want to settle. Understeering on that front left through there. A little bit, half a second faster. Nothing major though. Gonna go wide, I knew it. So I need a fair bit of work on the car just to try and get that. To get rid of that understeer with these. It's one of the main things of road cars, just getting rid of the understeer. They're always, when they've obviously coming off a production line, they've set up a standard for keeping it on the road rather than driving around the racetrack. Although they obviously set them up for able to drive fast, but they're not really set up for a racetrack. Otherwise, people would just be crashing into brick walls all the time. Let's just quickly save that setup. I know it wasn't anything special, but I don't mind driving the road cars, but it's okay when you race in a race situation. I like driving road cars in a race situation, but when hot lapping it gets a bit boring because they're just not very just a bit slow. I always like grip anyway. I'm not as good without grip on a car. Let's just save this as base. Save that. Have a little look at the replay as well, see what it sounds like in the replay. Have a little look at that last lap. So, where are we? Let's just go to here. Let's see what let's move this. That was when I nearly killed myself. Is this the I love watching the replays with the physics on this game. It looks so much more real than most games that you come across. The way the cars, the suspension rolls and everything. So you can get a lot more speed through that corner there because you can see I'm so that was a mistake lap, wasn't it? So we need to go back. Let's watch it from here. So this is the start of the faster lap because, yeah, that's right. Because when I did that mistake coming out of that corner when the back was nearly trying to kill me, that was when I did my fastest lap. So that you can go a lot faster with this car. You just got to start getting. You got to just get your brain into the thing of turning it really early because of the understeer. But if we can set it up at some point, I don't know when it'll be, but I'm sure I'll get around to doing a setup for it at some point. Definitely start getting more setups out for the PC version now as well, because everything's pretty much similar. It's just the values that seem different. But if you use that, if you look at my setups on PS4 and the red bar, obviously you got the bars. Try and just use the bars as a guideline rather than the numbers, because I'm guessing they've just, instead of changing all the values on PS4 and PC, they're just keeping the bars the same rather than changing the values, because it all seems pretty similar. Every change I make when I come, it just seems to react exactly the same. So just try and follow them bars the way, like if you're doing a McLaren 650S setup, for example, just try and keep the bars lined up in a similar position. It's not hard to work out because you just split it into like half and then look where it is. It doesn't have to be exactly the same to handle similar. I think some of the setup things are exactly the same anyway. It's only a couple of values that are different. Most of the values, the majority of the values on PC and PS4 are exactly the same now. Just a couple that seem different. We went off because we're crap. It's just a stupid mistake. Pushing a bit too hard. I wanted to just push it on a fast lap. That's the thing. If you've not got the setup with a road car, as soon as you start pushing, you just understeer off. So let's try a different car now and see what. I think we've done the LMP one yesterday, but if I've got time, I might have to do a instead of doing LMP, I might not do the LMP one tonight because I did it on. I should really do a little lap of it actually. I could just on the stream for the video. I'll do that now. Just do a couple of laps, clean it, just so it's on my video for the stream for people watching. And then if I've got time, I'll go to that other car. I'm not gonna worry about the 4x4 thing, whatever it is. I'm just not interested in driving that. I'm sure it has realistic, but just not really gonna drive a 4x4. So we want that one. I'm gonna go back to Wilson because I drove it yesterday's stream, but I had to take it off from being public because it ended without me knowing it had ended. I'd forgot to keep checking the stream on the laptop to make sure it was going. I was just chatting absolute crap to myself basically. Okay, so right, we did a I think it was a 143. I don't know why it says oh, that's because that was wrong lapping. It's not the right one. That's right. It's just, let's have a little go with this. We'll load that. I think we saved the base setup, so we won't really need to change anything. We can just go out and I'll just try and keep it on the track without pushing. But I know when I was driving this yesterday, I just literally wanted to carry on driving this car. It handles. It just feels so good to drive. It's the same as when I remember the first time I drove an LMP2 car. I know it's not as fast as the LMP1 obviously, but when I drove it on Project Cars, the LMP2 car, the first ever time I drove it, I was just literally sat there, I just wanted to carry on driving it, but then I never went back to it because all the leagues and every online lobby you ever came across on Project Cars was pretty much 90% of the time to GT3 cars. No one seems to like variety on racing games, but that's one of the good reasons why I did the VR Room League. That was quite good because we did like an RUF league, we did a V8 Supercar league, and then I obviously joined my esports team, so I didn't really, I just don't have the time, and we're not allowed to do certain things and stuff. But I'm definitely gonna start doing some league racing again soon because I miss it so much. Start doing some league racing so I can stream it. Might even do some on PC, especially if Assetto Corsa gets the private lobbies on PS4. Start doing some league racing. I'll probably try and do some PC league racing as well because the competition is just a lot higher. I know I won't be winning races anywhere near as often, and it'll probably be hard to even get in the top 3 on some of the PC leagues. Let's just have a little load of this setup and see. Right, we got it there. Alright, loaded the base up now. So I should be able to just go out and drive this car now. That one thing I didn't check was the gears with this. What's 200? We're not going to hit 208, are we? Right, let's lower the gearing down a bit because we're not going to hit that type of speed. This is just going to go through the gears so fast now though. 187. I'm trying to think. I think I'll leave it at 197. I'm not sure if we were hitting close to 188, 190 when we were on. That's the straight after the first. Like obviously you got the first where the DRS zone is normally on the on F1. Right at the start of the lap, the long straight. I'm not sure if we were hitting quite a high speed there. We'll have a little go anyway, just so you know. Let's get rid of that menu. This is going to feel so much faster than that road car now going into this. So I can feel the speed difference. And obviously because we got the mechanical damage on it now, we've got no ABS brakes with this car. We've got maximum boost on. Oh, we're running wide. I thought I was in second gear there. Wrong gear. That's the thing about getting your head around the gears you're in once you go into a car like this. Kind of have to concentrate when if I'm not talking, it's because I'm actually trying to concentrate a bit. It's quite hard to drive these cars while you're talking. Flat then. We won't push the braking too hard. I don't want to lose the car. That line tight and get on the power early. Oh, nearly lost it then. This car on this game just feels so good. Running a bit wide, missed the apex of that corner. Feel the hybrid there. Just keep it in fourth this time there. Get some power. Oh, lock that tyre up a bit then. A little bit off yesterday's time, but just the first flying lap. Oh, now that reminds me of when I was when we were doing the Project Cars Logitech competition, when we were pushing as hard as we could through there. The amount of times we did that when we were trying to nail a lap. That front left-hand tyre seems to be heating up, which I expect on this track. Obviously running a clockwise track on a car this fast, you're going to heat that front left up. Just back off a bit, then bring the tyres down a bit and we'll go through a fast lap on this next lap. Let's try and build some hybrid up as well. Builds up through the brakes, so I think it does, I'm pretty sure it will. I wish it had I'm trying to work out where the hybrid bar is. Normally you'll have I'm wondering if I went back on, let's just, is it on there somewhere, the hybrid? So wait there. Is that it on the left? Yeah, so I think it builds up with braking, but it looked like we had full hybrid there. Do have something for when you're using this view so you can see your hybrid really. This view is so good though. On this car is perfect. This is pretty much the view you're gonna get if you were like racing the car. Obviously you'd be a bit further back, but when you sat with the telly and you got steering wheel here, it feels pretty much realistic. So let's build that hybrid up. Just got to be careful now because we've got maximum hybrid, and this is a tricky corner this now. If you put the power down a bit too much you can lose the back end. So yeah, I can feel that hybrid much more there. We're going to run wide, just about keep on the track. Oh, took the wrong line through there. Let's turn that traction controls doing my head. Let's run it on the weakest set. This is going to be dangerous, but we're going to have to really feed the power in, especially with that. I'll turn it off as well in a minute, I think. Let's turn it off. Let's just get the most out of this hybrid system. Down on the lap because we've had a mistake on this lap, so. Oh, just about stopped it in time. See the difference now, we got no hybrid and look how much slower we are. So one thing I think I'd do with this car, I think I already done it a bit. Let's just see if I'm sure I already lowered the brake pressures. If it does gain the hybrid from the brake pressures. See, I've already lowered it a bit. What's the lowest you can go down to? 80%. Let's go down to 85%. Obviously, as well, it's got no ABS, so lowering that will help out, so we can put the brakes on a bit harder. Have another go with this car. I really like this car. Let's see if we can get a. It's all about starting the lap when you've got the hybrid. Not using too much on this out lap, not taking too much out the tyres. Guessing we've got the soft tyres on as well, I don't really know, but it feels alright, so we'll just leave it as it is. Let's not bring the hybrid in, just try and keep as much of the hybrid as we can. So we're going to have to remember, running less pressure, we're going to have to brake probably a little bit earlier, but it should build up more boost for the straights then. this car is all about building as much boost up as you can. You've got to drive it. It's basically totally different to how you drive any other car, because you want to be on the brakes a lot more. But like what we were doing, if you look at my brakes, say like, I'll show you what we were doing in the Logitech. We were basically braking and having both running at the same time like that. Obviously I'm not watching what I'm doing now, I was looking at the dial, but this was the corner that was getting me in the Logitech, because you had to get so much boost, build the boost up by maintaining high speed through them corners. I managed to get in the point just about on the Logitech with the Toyota version of the hybrid car. Where are we now? Let's make sure we've got a decent amount of boost. You'll see the difference now. We didn't even get anywhere near 170 before, and we should hit 170 now. We've got. Yeah, look, we're already at 170 there. Careful with the brakes. Oh. Ran a bit wide. Nearly drifted that corner there. Too late. Okay, we missed that lap up. Let's go again, but that front left is a bit too warm, but feels like the traction control was on, even though it wasn't. Seconds time there. But this apex just about kept it. So this lap's going to be a bit faster. Not been anywhere near perfect, but just crept into a 42, so not a brilliant lap at all, but just wanted to get a lap in with that car just for you guys to see. Should be able to get into the 30s, I would think, pretty easily with a good setup, and because there's so many things you can change with this car. it's a lot more in depth, the setups on this car. And I remember on Logitech it took us so much longer to get the Toyota set up right. It was on pretty much the last day that we finally got a setup that felt okay, and it just wasn't long enough to get to the top end of the points, but we did okay. We still got in the points. Let's have a little look at the replay of that last lap, just so I can, just for the stream. Okay, so we want this to start about, is it that one there, isn't it? Lock that type. Obviously you've got no ABS on this car, so you've just got maybe run the differential. I was saying that I tried running the differential higher on the coast and it was just understeering, so maybe running the did we put the brake pressures on as low as we could then? I can't remember. I think maybe just run the brake pressures on all the way down to 80, build more boost up. You're still going to get good braking, I think. Have to have a good look at the setup at some point. I definitely want to get this car set up really well. It's going to need obviously a lot stiffer on the roll bars and stuff, just so we can carry more speed through the corners. Really nice car to drive though. So if you haven't bought I mean, I don't know what the other version handles like, because there's one from the DLC too, I think, a different Porsche. I will be buying that DLC hopefully over Christmas, so I'll test that version out then, see what the difference is. Recently, it was an okay lap. It was just keeping it clean and on the track. What I will do is I will go back to the setup just to make sure. I think one thing I'm going to change straight away is running that all the way down. Definitely stop that locking up a bit easier, because I don't use a brake mod on me pedals. It's just because going back through so many different games, coming from PC to PS4 and using the same pedals, if I put the brake mod on, it won't work so well on other games on PS4. I mean, it would be handy with the cars with no ABS on, but I'll just lower that down instead for this. Let's have a little look at. See, I would guess that you're going to be running, especially on a track like Silverstone, where you're going to carry a lot more corner speed. You're going to want something a bit more like that, 6.5 or something. And let's see what the see the stuff on. You're going to want stiffer suspension as well. The ride height can probably come down a lot more than that, but when I was doing the base setup, I didn't really want to, especially with Silverstone being a bumpy track with a lot of curbs, you've got to be aggressive on. I didn't want to go too low. Let's just save that, override, just because of the brake change that I've done. Definitely feels a bit better with that brake change like that. Just remember, these are not setups that you want to be taking down. Yeah, on PS4 you get, depending on what version you get, if you get, the only content you won't get on the PS4 is, it's like there's two different versions, which you can buy the DLC that you're missing. It's like really cheap, like $1.99, but make sure you buy if you're going to do it, there's a version that you get. It's weird, when you buy I bought both bloody versions on the PS4, it was like a few quid for the DLC. I ended up buying both of them and only needed one of them. Just make sure you get the right one. But in terms of basic content, yeah, you get everything. You get all the Dreams packs, the Ferrari packs, pretty much. All the GT3 cars. The only thing you won't get is the Porsche. You won't get like this Porsche DLC. You will have to buy the Porsche DLC if you're buying on PS4, because that's the Porsche DLC has come out after the PS4 version came out. So you'd need to buy. There's a season pass for the PS4, which is it's not bad value to be fair. £24, and you'll get the Ferrari pack, all the free Porsche packs. You get the Japanese pack. And with the Ferrari pack, you'll get the Red Bull track as well. So it's not bad. It's not bad value. But if you want to buy them individually, just buy them individually. But you'll still get. I'll show you now the difference. Why I'm coming out of this now. You'll get. Let's just go back. For example, on the PS4, on the PC, I don't have. Let's just go to what car, like Lamborghini. I haven't got the GT3 on this, but I've got it on the PS4. So I've got that on the PS4. So all the Dreams pack. See there, that's Dreams pack. You'll have all that. The red pack, you won't have that because that will come on the red pack, which is with the Ferrari content and some more Lamborghini content. What else? Like Japanese pack, you'll but you them from the Dreams Japanese. But you get the majority of the cars. It's just the DLC that came after. But you get a lot more than on the PC. The standard, it's something I think they should change, because on the PC when you get the standard version, although I didn't buy this for myself, someone bought this for me, one of my subscribers. You're not getting anywhere near as good value on the PC as you are on the PS4. But then on the PC you've got more features, a lot more options, and it's a better game on PC, I'd say, in terms of like, especially now you can do that championship. That is, I'm definitely going to do this and create a championship. That Porsche, I think, and go. Let's just have a little look at what. Just that other this. This is going to be a scary car. I'm going to be so crap with this car. I don't want to go on a track that's going to be too hard with this, because you'll get obviously all the tracks as well, like Brands Hatch and that, and Cataluna as well on PS4. This I haven't got them because you have to buy them. We could go to Imola. It's going to be a hard track on Imola, but I haven't been on Imola in so long. This would be quite a hard track to learn with this car, but might as well just give it a go. We won't push at all. We will basically drag grandma's just to see what the car's like. Just want to get it onto the stream because I haven't put the on yet. No, I was saying before, I'm not in AOR at the moment, but private lobbies will come to PS4 on Assetto. So I'm guessing they'll do a league on it, and I'll probably come back, and especially if Project Cars 2 comes out on I'll probably get it on PC and PS4, and I'll probably league race on one. I'll probably do PC league racing on Project Cars 2 purely because you're gonna be able to do 32 player. Like there'll be more. You can do 32 players online, and the Apex League on PC is a little bit more competitive. It was still competitive on PS4, but there was. I mean, it was starting to not die down. It was just starting to lose a bit of its thing. It's picked up a bit now. It all depends on the esports I'm doing as well at the time, because I'm in esports and cars, the professional virtual race team. In terms of what we're going to be doing next year, I'm not too sure. There's going to probably be competitions on PC, competitions on PS4, and then trying to find time to practice and be competitive on a league is going to probably be quite hard. And I don't want to just turn up and race and get beat. I'm not into that. I'd rather be able to put a bit of practice in, even if it was just like a couple of hours on a couple of nights, just to get myself up to speed. Because it doesn't take long on Project Cars to get up to speed. I'd want to make sure I'm able to get in the top 3 at least. I don't want to just go on there and get beat by people that I know I should be beating. And plus, if I'm in that many competitions, if there's prize money and stuff like that, I'll be probably putting my attention to them. But I'm sure I'll be able to do the odd league next year, because I want to do it anyway for the streams, so I can stream it to the channel, and obviously upload videos and stuff. I really should start doing some esports on the Sunday on Project Cars, but it's just nothing. You just have to practice it, and then I wouldn't be able to play Assetto as much, and I want to keep playing Assetto Corsa as well as Project Cars. I might try and do a stream actually on the free version of Project Cars on the PC, because I haven't got the full version yet, but I probably will buy it on Steam at some point. But might just do a little stream on that Monza track with the Pagani, try and get the top spot on the leaderboard. Should be close to being possible. I know there's a few of my team that have put some times in. I had a very quick go, but my wheel was set up wrong, so I should be a lot faster this time. Anyway, let's load this up, and this will be the final car I'll test. It'll be very quickly just testing this, and then after I end the stream it's getting on a bit, on for midnight, and then I can let it process on YouTube. I definitely need to start streaming a lot more though. Keep streamings coming up, especially when I'm tuning. I want to start getting some more streams of me tuning on PC, because that's going to be the best way for me to do my setups, because at the moment I've not got any software on the PC to do editing, although there's something seen on Steam which I'm looking at, which is, I think it's going to be very similar to the Share Factory I use on PS4, which I'll probably end up using and buying, because I'll be able to edit a lot more footage then and get it a lot better for uploading. Right, so what tyres is it? Vintage? We don't want vintage on what? Oh, we got to have vintage. Look at the tyre pressure difference. You know what, I'm just going to make it a little bit safer. It might, because of the rears overheating, that's why they're going to be higher, but I just want a little bit more grip on the rear. What's that gearing at? We're not going to be hitting that. I don't know how fast this will go down the straights. Okay, so 200 is going to be less, because it will go faster than 175. Fuel, I'm not bothered. Suspension, I'm not going to change that yet. Aero, I probably will add a little bit of rear wing, because it's going to be a hard car to drive. Won't touch that. Brake pads. Let's just see what this is going to be. Hard car to drive this. So we can't change traction control because it's now an old car. Understeer through there, but I'm not good with cars like this. Softer suspension on this. Definitely needs to set up this. It's a tricky bend. It's braking nice and early. I don't want to crash. I have to brake super early there. I don't like the gear shifting on this car. I think we just flat spotted the tyres there as well. Let's see, it's going to probably vibrate now. Yeah, I think I just flat spotted them. 5 gears. Yeah, 5 gears. Wow, this car's understeering even in a straight line. Right, let's just have a little go in the pits. This is where I come unstuck with cars like this. They just don't suit me at all. You've got to be so much more patient on everything. So let's just... It felt really like it was understeering a lot then. Let's just add a bit more camber. Let's take the front camber down a bit. Add a bit more rear camber. Flap left, flap right. Oh, that's a weird one, isn't it? I've not. It's got 2 separate arrows on the front. Tell you what, we'll go maximum rear just so this car, and then we'll add a couple on the front as well. I don't really want to start adjusting too much with this car. Let's just try that and see if we can at least just get a lap in. No, on Project Cars, it's exactly, as far as I can see, it's exactly the same, the handling model on Project Cars on PS4 to PC. It's just for me, there's no difference at all. Everything's exactly the same. The only thing that's just going to take time on that is getting the wheel settings right. Because obviously using the T500, you must use some sort of base settings on PS4. So when you load your PC up, your base settings are different to the PS4 from PC. So it's just getting the force feedback and everything where you want it. Drive this out like easy, because just understeering in weird places. Be another car that would need quite a good setup to get the most out of this, I think. Why am I going into second gear there? First gear, sorry. I thought I was in wrong gear. When I'm talking, I stop concentrating. Let's move that as well. See what it's saying. Right, so I'm going to go quiet for a bit as I try and just get used to this car. Brake so early. I'm braking before you even round that corner. I'm not even accelerating hard and it's still not braking. Alright, let's just try and get a lap in where we're not pushing at all, just to get it around the track. I'm braking so early there, and it still didn't even make the bend nearly. There's one thing you have to look up on this car is trying to get the braking better. Not even going to try pushing it too hard through there. doesn't want to turn at all. Oh my god, it just doesn't want to. So far this is not my favourite car in the DLC, as you can tell. To be fair, it's quite a hard track to take a car like this too as well. Just got to start driving it a bit different, getting used to how you brake. Got to be a little bit more gentle with the car. Such a weird car to drive that. Where's the braking stuff? Where's the info on the brakes? Let's just brake part out, right. Let's take that down. It's got far too much, because it's got no ABS. We don't want 100% brake power on that. It's locking up as soon as you hit the brakes. Just go back down to 58 as well. Can't change any, obviously you can't do differential on a car this old. Just no options for that. Let's just click a little bit more front downforce on that. Yeah, it's not really my type of car, this. Very floaty when you're driving it, especially on the braking. It just felt like it was floating all over the place. Hopefully changing that the brake pressure should make a bit of difference, because it was just locking up on the fronts. Because I don't know why you'd put as a default setup a car like this with 100% brake pressure, especially for people that don't know how to, that aren't really that into setting up a car and that. The first thing I would do is just get the setup a little bit more drivable. So that's definitely better on the brakes now. It's not locking up as much. It should stop some of the understeer now when I'm braking. Corners exactly in cars. When you run wide, it just goes into like an ice mode, like you're driving on ice. I literally feel like I'm driving around like a granny in this thing. Just can't carry any speed through the corners. Still locking up there. You just can't brake on that corner. Braking like 150 yards before the corner. Start letting some of the engine do the braking, I think, on this car. Trying to let the engine brake and it's still not. horrible places. I think you'd have to run maximum front wing on this thing. Might be running too much rear wing. It doesn't really feel like it needs a rear wing, to be fair. Flat spotted them a bit there. Right, let's just try and get a lap in now. Now we're getting used to it a bit. See if I can get a lap in. The apex totally. Kept it on the track. Just in case you're getting used to the different type of handling, I think. Especially going from like doing a preview like this, where I'm going from a road car to an LMP car to a GT3. It's just quite, it takes a bit of time just to get into a rhythm with a car. Pushed the brake in a bit. The engine was getting a bit dangerous and I probably nearly blew the engine. Oh, I lost it. Went into first gear. I don't know why I went into first gear there. PS4 is key 25, KIE 25. And that's my main profile that I race on when I'm doing my setups and stuff. Let's just have a little look at that other lap. I know it wasn't anywhere near a good lap, but it's just, I think that'll have to, this car is another car that will take quite a bit to set up. Starts it there. Sounds good at the replays of this car. Have to work on the setup on this car. It started getting used to it a bit. It's just, I think it needs a little less downforce on the rear and a little bit more on the front, just to get a bit better turning. Work on getting a bit more grip on the car and a bit better braking. Maybe lower the brake pressure a bit more. Missed that. Look how much we missed that apex by. The only car I think I haven't really driven tonight has been the road car. It's like a 4x4 thing, I think, which I'm just not really interested in driving it, to be fair. I'm not sure if it's a free car anyway, but everyone gets it, so I'm sure everyone would have drove that anyway. This car sounds so good on the replays. Such an awful, I took that bend so bad. What I'll do, I think I'm going to try and get this car set up at some point. I think it would look really good on the replays going around the track. Especially if you were driving a perfect lap. Let's just change some things in the setup and I'll save it as a base setup. I'll leave that for the screen, I think. Go back into the pits. So it was the brake pressure, I'd say just go as low as you can. Just have to brake a bit earlier. Maybe lower that down to 57 because it was still locking up on the front. What was the ride height like? Can you change the ride height? Yeah, so it definitely needs to be lower as well. So what's it, 12? So we'll take 4 off of it on each side. The rear will go down to 20, and then what we'll do is we will go, no, what am I doing there? Oh yeah, we want more front. I would actually, do you know what, I would be tempted to go pretty much maximum on that and take 1 off the rear. Can't really